just make the business decision for me? In my experience, this question could have just as easily been the reverse. Why does my lawyer keep trying to make business decisions for me when all I want is legal advice? You've engaged your business lawyer to provide advice and guidance on legal questions, to analyze legal issues, and to mitigate legal risks. That's what lawyers are trained and qualified to do. Ultimately, that's arguably all the lawyer should be doing, laying out a risk assessment, making recommendations, but ultimately leaving the final decision about how to proceed in your hands as the client and business owner or decision maker. As you may have already seen though, this line can get blurry and your experience is going to depend on the setting, the lawyer's role, the subject matter, whether any governing law or regulations provide definitive guidance or leave room for loopholes and calculated risks, and the lawyer's individual temperament. For example, when I was working in-house, I noticed that the company's other internal lawyers had no qualms whatsoever about taking absolute stances on whether or how to proceed with a business issue, oftentimes very much to the chagrin of the individual business units that did not appreciate having a lawyer dictate to them how to do their jobs. This was actually a continuing source of conflict, and it led to stagnating projects and low morale. The business unit would be explicit that they were engaging legal simply to determine whether their proposed course of action was within the bounds of the law, and they weren't inclined to scrap 4 months of work because the in-house lawyer saw some potential nominal risk, refused to approve the project, and insisted that the business unit start over from scratch under the lawyer's supervision. Of course, I saw the flip side too, where external lawyers and legal consultants would create elaborate 40-page slide decks with animation and graphics and 2-hour-long presentations to go along with it. And then the business unit would come away with barely any concrete insights whatsoever as to how those lawyers recommended that the company proceed or next steps from a practical legal perspective. Those lawyers did nevertheless regularly send 6-figure invoices for these futile exercises. Now, leaving aside my persisting frustration with corporate inefficiency, the simple fact is that different levels of lawyer input and authority are acceptable in different corporate cultures and contexts, and for different types of requests and assignments. It takes open dialogue and attentive listening on both sides to get on the same page. But ultimately, you, as the client, have the right to make any and all business decisions based on your own interests, values, and priorities, and based on your fuller picture of your short and long-term business planning strategies, risk tolerance, financial and tax considerations, advice that you've received from other advisors, and any other factors that you deem relevant to your decisions. Your lawyer will have a comparative advantage in determining whether what you want to do is legal or risky or likely to be upheld by a judge, but you almost certainly will have the comparative advantage of knowledge with respect to every other aspect of your business, because it's your business. Your lawyer's advice is valuable, but it's a supplement to and not a replacement of your autonomous decision-making process. Business owners, what is your reaction when a lawyer endeavors to provide you with business advice beyond identifying legal issues? Are they a helpful sounding board, or do you wish they'd stay in their lane?